Welcome back, Turtleholics. In today's video, I'm going to be answering a very important question. Why is my turtle not eating? Now, this has happened probably to most turtle owners at some point where their turtle just stops eating or seems not interested at all in food, and it can be really concerning. So in today's episode, I'm going to cover the main reasons why turtles will stop eating, and then also what you can do to get your turtle to start eating again. Let's get into it. So for starters, if you have a baby turtle or a turtle that you just moved into your tank, there's a good chance that it's going to take them a while to get acclimated to their new environment. And here's actually a video of my turtle Penny when I first got here. You can see she's very antsy and squirmish, just kind of swimming all around the tank, obviously a little bit stressed out. And then also here's a video of another baby turtle that is getting a little frightened by seeing a person. And this is totally normal. Like I said, this should take probably a couple days or even a week or so for them to feel comfortable enough to start eating. Also, there is a chance that your turtle is just a little nervous about coming all the way up to the top of the water line to get the food, so they might just like staying at the bottom, and that's totally fine. In a couple days or maybe a week or so, they should feel more comfortable coming up to eat the food. Now, another common reason why your turtle isn't eating, and this is actually very common among baby turtles, is that the food is actually too big, or maybe it's too hard for them to actually bite down on. Turtles, they don't actually have teeth, they just use like the roof of their mouth, which is pretty hard to bite down on the food. But sometimes, as you can see in this clip, they're just not strong enough yet to bite down and swallow the food. With that in mind, especially if you have a baby turtle, you should start out with like baby turtle food. It's a lot smaller and a lot easier for them to eat and digest. And also, this doesn't go for just pellets, it's also for anything that you're feeding your turtle. So for example, if you're gonna feed your turtle some vegetables, make sure that you chop it up into really small pieces so that they're able to actually chew on it and then eat it. Here's a crazy video of someone trying to feed their turtle a full strawberry. Obviously, a strawberry the size of your turtle is gonna be very hard for them to eat. So I hope it goes without saying that you should not be doing that. Now, another reason your turtle isn't eating, it might just be that they don't like the food you're giving them. For example, my turtle, especially when I first got her, she hated anything green. Like if I gave her green pellets, she would try to eat it and then immediately just spit it up. The same thing even went for vegetables. I would give her like green lettuce. And she wouldn't even pay any attention to it. The biggest way that you can kind of get around this is to make sure that you're feeding your turtle a variety. I have multiple different types of turtle food brands, more than I can hold in my hand right now. And this is good not only to help them to start eating, but it's also good to have a variety in their diet to make sure that they're getting all of the required nutrients. Now, if you are already feeding your turtle a bunch of different types of pellets or vegetables or fruit and they still aren't eating, one way you can help stimulate their diet is by giving them some treats. My turtle absolutely loves freeze-dried shrimp. She goes absolutely crazy every time I give it to her, so that could be one way that you can help stimulate their diet. Just make sure that it's something that you do kind of sparingly, maybe like once a week, not something that you do every day, because it is a lot of protein, so it could lead to health issues if you do it too much. Now, if that still doesn't work or you're looking for other ways to kind of stimulate your turtle's diet, another good option is to try actually live feeding. So I've actually done this with a couple different types of insects and other types of animals. So for one, I gave my turtle some crickets. She absolutely loved them. She loved chasing them around the whole tank and eating them. And it kind of taps into that sort of like natural instinct for them to start hunting. So it can definitely help them, start eating again. Aside from crickets, you can also try worms. Here's a clip of me feeding my turtle some worms. As you can see, she also absolutely loved this. And I actually have those videos on my channel if you want to go check the full-length videos of me feeding them that. And then another option is to actually give your turtle live fish. I wouldn't recommend this for baby turtles, but maybe once your turtle's around 3 or 4 inches of shell length, they might be fast enough to actually catch a fish. And as you can see in this clip, my turtle loved chasing it around, obviously loved eating it, but it also kind of stimulates their natural instinct to try to chase and hunt things down. Now, another common reason why your turtle might not be eating is because of environmental factors, and I think the most common has to do with temperature. So if you have an aquatic turtle, most of them require a water temperature from 75 to 85 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's usually going to be warmer than room temperature, which means you need a heater. And not only do you need a heater, but you should also have a thermometer so you can help verify that the water is actually in that comfortable range of 75 to 85 degrees Fahrenheit. And the same goes with the basking platform, which should be around 10 degrees warmer than the water. So if your water temperature is around 85 degrees Fahrenheit, then your basking temperature should be around 95 degrees. And just so you understand kind of why this is important, Warm temperatures kind of help your turtles stimulate their metabolism. So a lot of times if your turtle's tank is too cold, it actually kind of slows down their metabolism, which makes it so they actually don't want to eat. And if it's super cold, it can actually kind of force their body to start going into like a hibernation or brumation state, which would mean that they wouldn't really be eating at all. So just make sure that you're not only like have the heaters and have the lamps inside of your tank, but also that you're making sure that it's the right temperature. And while we're on the topic of environmental factors, another thing that you should keep an eye out for is just your turtle's water quality. So if you have a very messy or dirty turtle tank water, there's a good chance that that can also stress them out, and eventually that can lead to them to stop eating. Here's a clip actually of my tank when I was out of town for the weekend and my filter broke. As you can see, it's completely disgusting. My turtle wouldn't eat for a couple days. So if this happens, depending on the severity, maybe you should do a partial water change. But actually in this instance, I had to do a full water change just because the water was absolutely disgusting. So that's just another thing too. If your tank isn't the cleanest, you might just want to, do a full or half water change, clean up the tank, and maybe that will get your turtle to start eating again. And then actually one more tip if your turtle is not eating that you can try out is to actually take your turtle out of the tank and then put them in a smaller container and then try to feed them there. Obviously in a smaller container, they're gonna be a lot closer to the food. It'll be a lot harder for them to ignore it. So hopefully that can kind of, push them to start eating it. The one thing I will say, if you have a new turtle, I wouldn't recommend doing this, within the first week or so, just because like I said in the beginning of the video, a lot of times they can be very antsy and nervous. And so if they're still trying to get acclimated to the tank and you're constantly, picking them up out of the tank and moving them somewhere, it could just kind of stress them out. As you can see in this video, here's my turtle when I was putting her in and out of a smaller container. She did not like it. She was hissing. So just something to keep in mind. But like I said, this is a good strategy that you can try out if, all else fails. And another reason why your turtle might not be eating is because they might actually have an illness and they're sick. But if you're suspecting that, don't freak out right away. You should really just be looking for other symptoms. For example, if your turtle's suffering from a respiratory illness, there's a good chance that they might start making some like clicking sounds like you can actually hear in this video. And there actually might also be some labored breathing. So as you can see, this turtle is, stretching their neck out, trying to kind of gasp for air. So that is another sign that your turtle might be sick. And if you do suspect that your turtle is sick, I recommend, if possible, to take them to the vet. If not, you just want to ensure that they have the best tank conditions possible. So clean water, right temperatures, and then hopefully they'll be able to recover. And if you're interested in kind of like a more in-depth guide on feeding an aquatic turtle, I'll put a longer video that I did in the corner. And like I said, I really hope this helped. Let me know down in the comments if you have any questions. And if you don't mind giving this video a like and subscribing to this channel, I'm coming out with videos every single week. And with that, we'll see you on the next one.